Understand that we are in a war in America. Understand that we are in a war in America. And just because you might be in an environment where you don't visibly see violence or people going at it with ammunition or anything like that, it does not mean that the war does not persist. We are in a war in America. It is an ongoing war. It has never ceased. It has never stopped. Perhaps you're not in a location where you can visibly see conflict, but it does not mean that a war is not going on around you. You have to be sober and vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And the devil, if God so permits, can attack you in an instant. That's why you always have to be on guard when you are out in public. I don't care where you are. Always know your surroundings. You could be in an area that looks isolated, and it appears to be that you are the only one out there, but most likely you are not. You can't go by what you see. You have to go by what you know. And what you should know, or what you will know, if you're listening to my conference, is that 9 times out of 10, there are always some set of eyes on you. Whether if it be through the lens of a camera or an actual group or an individual as a single person. But there are always, I believe, a set of eyes on you. And it's not so much that the set of eyes on you is anything for you to be concerned about as it pertains to, in the sense of people can't look at you, but it's about who is looking at you. Okay? Because we've got some satanic maniacs on this planet, you guys. And I know a lot of times when you hear things on the news or you hear things off the internet, it's easy to think of, oh, well, it's over there. No, it's not. It's right up under you a lot of times. Like they say, you got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to know exactly what's going on around you at all times. And I know some of you may say, well, nobody can be that alert at all times, but you're going to have to train yourselves to be. Because it is what God has told you to be in so many words when he put in his word, be sober and vigilant. Don't be so caught up in the moment and caught up in your surroundings that you don't know what's going on around you. That's the reason why I don't understand people that are attracted to crowds in these last days. I just don't understand it. Why? You don't know what is in that crowd. You don't know who is in that crowd. Most likely Satan is in that crowd, or one of his agents, one of his workers. Just because you don't see things popping off and breaking off does not mean that you are safe. There are demons all over this planet. Many of them are inhabiting human beings, and others of them are just in the spiritual realm, standing around or perhaps taking orders from Satan on who to jump in to try to do something to hurt somebody or take somebody's life. And black women in particular, you need to be extremely careful. Especially if you don't have a husband, if you don't have a boyfriend, you are a single woman, be careful because you don't know who's watching you. And you may think just because of the passage of time that nobody's going to bother you, nobody's paying you any attention. Yes, they are. And it's not about you getting attention. It's about who the attention is coming from. You don't know who it's coming from. That could quite possibly be, the attention could be quite possibly be coming from somebody that is demonically possessed, and they're just waiting for an opportune time to strike. So you always have to know what is going on around you and utilize your senses. I don't care what you're doing. You don't ever just be so involved in what you're doing that you still don't have that third eye open, or figuratively speaking, or that you're not conscious as far as hearing what's going on around you. I don't care what you're doing. Your ears need to be open in case a pair of footsteps are coming up behind you or beside you or in front of you. Always know what's going on around you when you are out in public on dangerous planet Earth. This world is a battleground. It's a battlefield. And for a lot of you, even if you have a husband, even if you have a boyfriend or a man or whatever, you know, he can get hurt just like you can. So I would just say to both genders, know your surroundings. You've got demonically possessed individuals that walk among you on a daily basis, I believe. You don't even know who they are because, well, they're not acting out yet. But you must understand that the devil is seeking whom he may devour. That's why you have to have your souls right. It's not that you are thinking something's going to happen to you, but, you know, if God did allow, at least you'd be all right as it pertains to your salvation. God forbid something happened to anybody out there, but you guys catch the gist of what I'm saying here. This is a dangerous world. It's dangerous. Look at the world these little children are growing up in. Look at what little children grow up to become. Because for every murderer, for every psycho, for every psychopath, for every narcissist, for every demonic individual, they were once little children. They didn't come into this world being a full-grown, crazy adult. They either came here dysfunctional, or perhaps their living environment as children made them dysfunctional. Or perhaps they chose to become dysfunctional. Perhaps they dabbled in something that they should not have dabbled in and became demonically possessed. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that Satan is on the prowl. I know that much. And I know you better know your surroundings. When you walk out of buildings, you don't need to just walk out of buildings just talking and looking down at the ground and just, you dress nice and that's okay and just acting like, you're just into the mood of what you're doing. You need to scan the outdoors before you step out there. Even when you step out of your homes, if you have to go out at night, you need to scan your front porch. You need to scan your surroundings before you step out on dangerous planet Earth. Before you step out of your vehicles, perhaps you need to start looking around and then open your door and get out. Because, we tend to go places and park our cars, turn the ignition off, and open the door. You need to scan the perimeter. You need to scan your surroundings first. It's almost like you actually have to train yourself to operate like a soldier. As if you were a trained soldier. Because that's what this life is going to make, folks. That's how you're going to survive. You got to think like a soldier. And not only that, you need some sort of protection. I'm not going to tell you what to get. But I definitely wouldn't be walking around on dangerous planet Earth without anything. Even if it's just pepper spray. Have something, especially as a woman and as a black woman. And I'm not just addressing black women. I'm saying women of any nationality. But I'm specifically saying black women because black women are the biggest targets on the planet, as black men are. So you always need to know what's popping around you, meaning what's going on around you. Well, y'all know what that means. Other nationalities might not know our lingo. Always know. Always know that you could look around and not see one human being. But it doesn't mean there's nobody standing out there.